Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. I have a very exciting unboxing, maybe installation here to do. Let's get into this. This is something from Rockscale Design. I am super pumped about this one. Alright, today I'm opening up my box with my Demko, or Demko Knives AD20S. This is the USA made, slim version. CPM S90V blade steel and Jade G10. I do like the color of these scales. They're really cool. I think we have something way more exciting happening here. Let's take a look. I reached out to Rockscale Design and asked them about something that they were working on. Let me just cover something up here real quick. I asked them about some scales, but they are also making a new Backspacer for this. So, I mean, I can do the standoffs, right? But I thought it would be cool to do the slims. Now, they had the regular Backspacer, but they hadn't finished the Backspacer for the slims. So this is new. So let's see what we have. Now we have, yeah, buddy, some titanium scales. Let's look at this. Ooh. Super excited about this ones. I had hoped for the slim ones, so we're always grateful. So I am just going to say thank you. I'd hoped to get the thinner ones. That's something that I would really have liked. Oh well, we will make do with what we got. I just wanted to point this out. You can get these with the thin version like this. Let me show you what they do on my 80/20.5, and it's kind of what I'd hope to do here. I hope to get this version right here. I find it a little easier to work with bigger hands, big old meaty fingers. So fortunately this is the USA version, so there is enough room, but if my hands were any bit bigger, this would be uncomfortable. Just, you know, it would have been neat to see. But keep that in mind if you got really large hands. This is something maybe for you guys to contemplate. It might be nicer for your hands, so there you go. All right, let's get this apart here. And I believe we're dealing with, are these T10s, and then I think this is a T10 or T15. T15. Okay, so let's begin. Ooh, losing the pins here. I'll keep these up here. Getting the right tool to get this off. Keep that from flying. All right, I'm gonna get the punch. It'll be easier. Now it's important to note, you see how this has a line here? So the bottom doesn't have a line, the top does. You've got to keep those the right direction. It won't fit together well if you do that. So make sure you do that. This is a linerless, so I'm getting rid of the liner. So there we go. So this liner is really pretty much stuck on there, but it was because the pins were stuck into this. So we're not going to use the liner going forward. Move the thing here. All right, so what we're going to then do, we're going to get cage bearings steel washers, which is really nice. It'll be better action, make the knife just function way better. So now we're going to put our spring in here. We are going to do, oops, Sorry, we're using the new Backspacer. I'm not using the... That's right, I forgot. So... So they do fit, okay. Leave that there for now. All right, sorry, we're back. I had a phone call. Apologize about that. Linerless, no, look at that. Clip, deep pocket carry. These do stand up just a little bit, but that's because it's got the thinner Backspacer, and I went for the thinner scales. So the slim, thinner Backspacer, thinner scales. You can get thicker scales if you want it to. So let's look at these scales, compare them. I don't know, maybe they're not the thinner ones. Let's see. So these scales are 185 thousandths of an inch. And these scales are 158. 159, 160. About 160 thousandths of an inch. Yeah, so these are definitely, yeah, they're definitely thinner, for sure, for sure. And that's about the distance that you see right there. So you can get thicker scales, but it is really nice. It's a lot easier to hold as far as I'm concerned. So I do like this a lot. I do. Now, fortunately, because it's a large version, this is not as big deal. You can see on this one right here, I'm already over the edge. If I had gotten the same, wave, if it wasn't what they call a flat handle or whatever, the AD20.5 is just not comfortable. And I've actually handled like original Goat and then the Rockscale ones with the cutout. I prefer this right here for the AD20.5. It gives me room to handle it and comfortably. And this is, I wouldn't do the AD20 without these flat handles here. Now, fortunately, this is a much bigger knife, so my hand can get in there. If somebody had bigger hands than me, thicker, bigger fingers, it could be a problem, right? I think you might not enjoy it as much. But there we go. Got a little, I wanted a little pop of color. I thought that would be nice. You have to use the original ones, and of course you can see the steel, that steel bar. This one here is a little more polished. This one's USA made. I'm not sure what steel that is, if it's ABL or whatever, but it's a little rougher. But you know, it's definitely solid for sure. Action is great. Yeah, and they're nice and solid. No play. We'll put a little Loctite on there now. Let's do that while we're at it. Let me put the hardware in here. And we'll put this over here. The original Jade G10 scales. We'll put those over there. There's no oil on there. It's already got a little Loctite, but I don't think it's enough to keep it there, and I want to make sure it's nice and secure. I think we're good. I think we're good. Just one more time. Let's make sure these are all on. Yeah, so sometimes you're going to need a hole punch. Apparently, they were really stuck in there really, really well. Notice I didn't have any issues coming back together. It was nice and centered. You notice the bottom part that I was doing this way, they were smooth, right? And the top part, they had like a little line on there. You got to make sure you keep those the right size, right direction. So pay attention to that. Come back and watch this video if you need to. I do like these scales linerless. Does make it feel a little bit lighter for sure. Really nice and thin profile. I like a little touch of green there. You can always change that. You can always put a different color on there if you wanted to, right? So that's something. And you can also sometimes get the scales anodized or something. This gives me enough texture. I feel like it's good. And it's just a Rockscale just does a beautiful scale. I mean, even if you just don't do any anodization, and just ask them, say, hey, could I maybe have one that's just it's just plain? They'll do that for you. Okay. Now, if you say raw, it'll be raw. Okay. Just keep that in mind. It means it may come burrs and stuff. So just be very clear when you ask them what and see what they can do. Okay. Just make sure they have the bandwidth. This is not, unless they have it on their website, it's not guaranteed any of this stuff is available. But you never know until you ask, because, they're great people, and I'm sure if they have the bandwidth to do it, they're gonna definitely try to make you happy. Especially if you're willing to pay for the extra. Don't ask for it for free. Don't do that, because anodizing costs extra. But maybe plain might not be more, but definitely anodizing if you want a different color. Because I could have done all green. I just wanted something like a two-tone. I thought that would look nice. And I am glad that I did it like this. This looks really good. I like the width on there. It's not super thick for my hands. Now, if you got longer, thicker hands, longer fingers, you might get the regular width one. That might be good. I do think longer fingers, it'll give you a little more to grip on, a little more substance to hold it, to take a hold of. So just keep that in mind. I think that would be something worth considering. I'm very happy with what I have here for this one. Now, if I were to order another one, now, thank you to Rockscale Design, because this is the first time this has come out for the Slim, and I really like that. I really, really like that. I prefer it over the standoffs. Now, you do have to use their pins that come in here, unless this was screwed into. Sometimes, depends on which knife you get. They support the screws into the pins, and notice they have another set of screws if you're screwing, like if you're just going, not the pin going through the standoffs here, right? But I like this. I think this looks really nice. It's just a little touch, right? I don't think this would have looked bad on here either, right? I don't think so, but I do like the titanium look on here. I think that's really nice, really classy. So I do like the Demko Knives titanium scales that they come out with. They're so expensive and so hard to get a hold of. But I got to tell you, these are my favorite, and I would prefer these over anyone. Let me show you why. The big deal for me is this right here. Look at this cutout. Already, that is just so easy to get to, right? The issue is when you have this shorter, I can show you this. When you have this shorter little spot right here, notice this comes up a little bit higher. So there's less of the lock to get to. Do you see that? Whereas I have more of the lock. Means my hand, I can get down here. Look at this. If you got big old meaty fingers and you don't want to just do the tip, this is so much more comfortable. I wouldn't do an AD20.5 without that extra cutout. So my absolute 100% go-to scales for an AD20.5, an AD20.5 Shark Cub, and an AD20 is going to be the Rockscale Design. And that's just my personal preference. I don't get paid to do this. I don't get any money from these guys. You know, sometimes, yeah, I get to try some stuff out for free. But you know me, happy to burn a bridge if I have to be honest. But the thing is, there's some people, you know, you don't have to worry about that. And if something wasn't perfect, there are people that I can tell them and say, hey, did you mean to do this? You know, was this a manufacturing issue? And they're the people that will fix stuff. You know, I know these guys are like that. If there was like a design flaw and I said, hey, this is not working, they'd be like, let's redo that. You know, I have no doubt about that. But usually their Q&A, their P&A or whatever you call it, their product and development or P&D or whatever you call it, E&D, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Use whatever acronym you want. It's really good. And you know, when you get there, you can, the final product is going to be solid. What I really do enjoy is really beautifully rounded. That's really nice. No sharp edges. I can't tell you how that is a deal breaker for me on so many things. See over here, it's beautifully rounded. It makes it super comfortable. Now this is so small compared to this guy, but this is still a good size, right? But like I said, if you got bigger hands, definitely consider this one over this one. Hey, this one fits my hand just fine. And I was allowed to check this out from them, so I'm not going to be not upset at all. Not upset at all. Because you know what? This is what they may have had, and I am going to be very grateful because the big deal was I really want to check this out. And that is friggin' awesome because I love having a backspacer from them than the standoffs. It just looks nicer, in my opinion, I think. I just like it more. So, yeah. Anyways, this is the clip point. This is the drop point or dagger, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a shark's foot or sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it. I had the Shark Cub. That was one of those we had. That's just highly recommend. Really, really, really recommend. Somebody has that now, obviously, but I will tell you, I did not hate the Jade G10 scales. They were cool. They were cool. Now, the thing about the Jade G10, I could file some of these little nub things off of here. I could have filed this down over here, which I may still do. You know, who knows? I don't know. Maybe someday I'll have a second one. I usually don't have two, but this is like my beat up work knife, and so I really do like this one a lot. This one, I'll work. I've had this for a while now, and it's just been a solid performer, right? But this one is, yeah, I'm digging this. This is cool, really cool. Yeah, I like this a lot. Now you can definitely see with the polished titanium, this stands out with that steel. It's a little more, I think it's rust resistant, but it definitely has a patina to it for sure. So I don't know what steel this is, if it's ABL or whatever they use, but it's definitely something that patinas. I don't see rust. It's definitely, so that's nice, but you definitely can see that. Very cool. Neat, neat. Let's get rid of this. All right, let me make sure I move everything out of the way so we can see. Let me zoom in here so we can take a nice close look. So here's the AD20S, right? Now with the new Rockscale Design scales, look at those. This is the Critter version. This is not the flat handle, so just keep that in mind. If you have larger handles, bigger, meatier fingers, definitely consider this one. That is an option, right? Now this is the one without the aluminum blasted scale. This is nice. It has texture on there, so that's nice. I like this texture. I feel it's adequate, honestly. It's just a nice look. And what we did do is we put a backspacer, green anodized backspacer. You can see the lock. It's a linerless. Whereas before, these liners, these steel liners are gone. It's now fully on here, right? And then we're back here. Of course, this is the Lynch Northwest clip I put on here, right? And then we've got the captive pivot here. Now, the pivot does stick out a little bit. Some of you guys, if you're OCD, get the thicker scales. Get the thicker scales. I like this, and I don't mind this. I really don't. Just like this one right here, to stick in a little bit, right? So the thicker scales, it sticks out. So some people, I know when I did this one, people are like, oh, I don't like it sticking in. I didn't mind that. To me, it's not sharp. It's not sticking out. It's not bothering me at all. Just like here, because they do a nice job of chamfering everything, there's nothing sharp. So I don't mind that either, right? And I do like the clip, how that works. You can see that back there, backspacer. And there. What I really like right here, look at this cutout. See that? All that extra access from my finger. That's really nice when you got big old meaty fingers. I don't have to be all the way up here at the top. I can be down here. Distribute the weight evenly out over. Just makes this knife more comfortable, honestly. I do appreciate that. All right. Oh, and we are dead nut centered. See that? There's the, in case you're curious, there's the CPM S90V. All right, very cool. Let's get a nice little shot for our little video here. What do you think? There we go. I think it's super cool. I do dig these. So let me see if I can get a little shot here. How about this? We'll do this with a little clip here. How about I want to see the anodized scale. I kind of want to highlight that, the color of the backspacer. Okay. Very cool little knife indeed. I appreciate Rockscale Design. Thank you to Rockscale Designs. Definitely go check them out. Remember, use the code RNKRSD for save 10%. Save yourself some money. Be able to buy some extra stuff, right? But definitely go check them out. I don't get anything out of it. Sometimes they'll let me check things out early, especially when they come out with new stuff like this or new scales for new knives. Especially if I have the knife and I can check it out, and then I can kind of share with you guys what my thoughts are on it. I will tell you right now, the 80-20.5 shark cub, go with no other scales but these. That's the best scale for the shark cub, hands down, bar none, end of story, period. Just my strong, very strong personal opinion. If you disagree, fine. But I will tell you, you will not convince me otherwise. Unless I see something phenomenally different, what they did with it was phenomenal. The 80-20.5, my favorite scales, absolutely. Rockscale, again, the cutout, love that. Now, 80-20, my absolute favorite scales, Rockscale Design, again. I'm just telling you, they, as far as I'm concerned right now, they are #1 for scales of the year for my voting. Absolutely #1 for scales of the year. They've done it again with the 80-20. I do like other people's scales. Don't get me wrong. There's other people who make phenomenal scales. You know, Original Goat is phenomenal. I love Original Goat for the Mannix too. I love Original Goat for so many different things. Original Goat makes some beautifully contoured, gorgeous 80-20, 80-20.5 scales. But you don't have that extra cutout. And if contoured is more important than access to the finger, you know where to go, right? But if you are one who uses your knife and fidgeting and having access, making that comfortable, these are the only way to go as far as I'm concerned. Just my 2 cents on there. I may do a review on these down the road, maybe like an overall thoughts or something like that. We'll see. But I can just tell you right now, I love these. Highly recommend them. They're phenomenal. Definitely go get them. Unless something happens, I don't see that changing. But I'm more than happy to do it, maybe a little longer term review, thoughts on this thing here. But they are the scales to get as far as I'm concerned. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you gotten any of the Rockscale Design scales for any of your 80-20s or 80-20.5s or shark cubs or anything like that? If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Did you like them? Do you like the extra cutaway? I know people who have them and then get the extra cutaway. As soon as they notice that compared to the original one, it's huge. It's huge. May not be for everyone, but it is for some of us with bigger, meatier fingers, right? So there you go. Appreciate you guys again. Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, informative, helpful, whatever, any of the above, would you consider hitting the like button? Seriously, that like button really does help. And if you've already hit that like button and you haven't already subscribed, would you mind also consider subscribing too? Man, subscribing and liking the channel, it does help. I know I say that, but it really does help. Allows the channel grow, do more things, be able to do more things for you guys. Ultimately, you know, benefit you guys. So I appreciate you guys so very much out there. You guys are amazing. So thank you to everyone out there. If you have not already, also maybe consider checking that notification button too, so you can be notified of future content. Big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for your support. One, appreciate you because of your support. I'm grateful. Thank you, and because of your generous support. The way you support the channel, I'm able to do things. Weekly budget banger giveaways, right? Check out knives, cover shipping, things like that. So thank you to you channel members. You guys are amazing. I want to do two things for channel members. One, brand new channel members, email me your name and address so I can mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. Two, if all channel members, you're now eligible for the once a month members exclusive giveaway. So we'll do a budget banger giveaway each week, but then that 1 week in a month, there'll be 2 giveaways and you're eligible for both. I've seen one channel member win both one time. So it is possible. Rarely ever happens, but it is possible. So just keep that in mind. Also, if this sounds interesting, you said, hey, I'd like to become a channel member. I like the idea of the sticker, the note, the giveaway. Well, and I heard there's special emojis. Yes. I heard there's exclusive content. Yes. I heard there's like 1 year, 2 year anniversary. Yes. All that good stuff. If any of that sounds interesting or fun to you, please consider joining. There's a link down below in the description. I have 3 different tiers. Would love to have you. Don't do it because you feel obligated in any way. I just appreciate you being here. Just know that. But if you choose to become a member, thank you. Sincerely, honestly, thank you. I'm humbled. I'm blown away. All right, guys, thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, maybe consider checking me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.